fan of softball, then you are going to love the Fastpitch TV show. We're bringing you more interviews, more videos, and more product reviews than anyone else on the planet. Sit back and get ready. Here's the Fastpitch TV show.
Hello and welcome to the Fastpitch TV show. I'm your host, Gary Leland. I bring you this show every week. Just check our websites on Fridays for the new episodes. Now, if you found our show on Facebook, your Apple TV, Roku device, or any video sharing device or website, please check out my website at www.fastpitch.tv. It's the home of the Fastpitch TV network and the place to find all my softball videos and all my blogs. It's basically a network for Fastpitch softball. I think that describes it best. Please check it out as soon as this show's over. Now, in this week's show, I'm bringing you another clinic from Softball Con in Louisville, Kentucky. Earlier this year was when it was held. If you're not familiar with Softball Con, please visit their website, softballcon.net. It's a great clinic and definitely worth checking out. Now this week I'm bringing you part 3 of a great hitting clinic with college softball great and present head coach for the U.S.A. women's baseball team, Jennie Dalton Hill. If you haven't seen part 1 or 2, you may want to go back and watch episode 116 and 117. Then come back and watch this part, which is part 3. Now let's go to her clinic right after this word from my sponsor.
Do you need a softball bat? Do you want to save $30? SoftballJunk.com is offering an additional $30 discount off the price of all non-sale softball bats on their website. That's right, $30. So the next time you buy a bat, go to SoftballJunk.com and enter the code FPTV30 during checkout, and wham! You just put a cool $30 in your pocket.
This is simple fixes to common swing faults. Is that true? I think that's what this talk should be. Okay. So, at any time, throw out one that you're having on your team that you don't know what to do. Happy? Let's just start there. Are there any that you're having that you don't know how to fix? Yes, please.
I have a couple of players that are getting a little overly aggressive in the rotating of the backside.
Yes.
And when they finish up, it seems like they're so out of balance, have zero chance of getting down to first base.
Okay.
Simply because the heel has gone totally even beyond 90.
Now when they rotate, look at my back foot. Are they on their toe here?
Yep.
Or are they
Like
here?
that, more like that.
Okay. Your job as a coach is to help them feel what they're doing wrong. Because if they don't feel it, they can't fix it. So more than anything, your job, and this is going to be my whole spiel. If they can't fix it, or if they can't feel it, they can't fix it. Because there's no point in me swinging and saying, is that right? No, it doesn't matter what I say. Did it do what you wanted it to do? So if a kid is hitting line drive after line drive after line drive, do you want to fix that? Maybe not. But yes, over-rotating is a big problem because you then have to reset to begin your run. So what I teach is at the end of your swing to check if you've gone too far is jump from that position. So, meaning after your swing, I don't need to break a flat screen. So, I don't get paid that much. After your swing, if you have over-rotated, it will be almost nearly impossible for you to jump. Does that make sense?
Sure.
So, you guys are welcome to come in. I've asked 3 kids to come for my later talk, so they're all here now. But when you swing, if you over-rotate, it will be very hard for you to jump without coming back and then jumping. So that's something they can check without you around. Because my biggest problem, my biggest problem when I am coaching is even in a half group, there's 8 kids. And so I can't see everybody all the time. So if you give them something to do while you're not around, then they can fix it. So another thing I've done is set a ball. There's no in here. So I set a ball where over-rotating is too far, because then if the ball moves, the ball will move and it'll give them something to register that they've gone too far. So if they can't feel it, it's a lot like putting a kid on a tee if she's striding, or putting a kid on a balance board so that they can't stride in. It's just something that they can say, oh crap, the ball moved. And they put it back fast before you look. But it's something to check that gives them immediate feedback, if that makes any sense. Does that help?
Sure.
Is there anybody else that's having Yes.
How do you improve timing? That's like our biggest thing.
It's hard.
Yeah.
You probably already teach contact points. And so you move from T contact points to soft toss contact points. Then do you move to front toss contact points? Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Modified distance.
Yep.
And then back to full distance. So one way that I do it is I just then take my distances and increase it gradually. Now granted, if you use a machine, they're gonna know it's coming outside, so I like to throw live. I throw live to my kids. I'm not a pitcher, so it doesn't always hit the right spot, but I can generally hit my outside if I know that the outside is giving them an issue. But as soon as my kids start anticipating it's outside, I then go back inside because I don't want my kids to anticipate. In a game, they can't anticipate. I was with a team and the coach was teaching, on the outside, I want you to step into it and drive it the other way. And that's probably one of the worst things you can do because, I'm sorry, when is her stride foot supposed to be down? When is your batter's stride foot supposed to be down? Do you know? When the pitcher's stride foot is down, that is when her stride foot should be down as well. Does that make sense? So as you have pitchers coming around and she's striding at me, that's when my trigger and stride should be happening as well. So at that point, the pitcher doesn't even know if it's going outside if she misses her spot. So I cannot, in good conscience, teach my kid to step to the outside if I want her to be successful.
So just
Yes.
manipulate the distance.
Manipulate your distance to improve timing.
Okay.
Is there a way to fix it?
Right.
There's not.
You gotta give it time.
But I hate that. Good pun. But when it comes to teaching the timing, they have to understand the contact point as well. Because they can have correct timing, but be late with top hand and have it look like it's going the other way. Where you can say, no, that was right, but they don't judge it as right. So manipulate your distance. Anything else that's giving you specific problems? Yes?
I have a 10U team. I have two girls that when you're on a tee or soft toss, you know, they'll stay in fine.
Yes.
As soon as you start pitching to them, they want to do this.
Yes.
Anything specific you can.
I hate that problem so much.
I do too.
So a lot of it is trying to reteach. Have you done one-arm drills with them? Okay. So the one-arm drill is great. I do one-arm drills off soft toss. Or front toss, I mean. I will throw front toss with one-arm drills. And if you use them, a lot of times as they get older, you can use a full bat and do a one-arm drill with a full bat, but a little kid can't. They're not strong enough, especially in a 10U situation. They sell, there are products that are modified little teeny bats.
We use the wiffle ball bats. That's what we use, the short ones.
And are you hitting wiffle balls as well? I would go get, at least for me, and there it is.
Right.
Now be careful, some of those are very, very light, to the point that you don't even feel them. And those are hard because if you don't feel the instrument you're using, you don't have your muscles don't understand what they're doing. They're just waving in space, if that makes sense. At least for me, because I try out all the products and all the drills that I do with my kids. And I picked up that, I don't know if it's that one, but one that looked very similar. And it felt like there was nothing in my hand. So I went on the tee and I could, now granted I am not God, but I could not feel what I was doing because I felt contact, but I couldn't feel approach. And so I don't think that my kids could then translate into what the motion was because they didn't feel the instrument. So does it need to be heavy? No, but they need to feel a little bit of resistance on approach through ball, if that makes sense. But throw front toss, because there's a lot, I do front toss a lot, one arm with back arm, because big problems happen here with kids. And as soon as they do this, they see the ball goes straight up and there's nothing on it, but it's because elbows collapse back into their backside. It has to clear body in order to stay correct through approach. So that's how I fix it. Is it easy? That one's a nightmare. Sorry.
I hope you had it easy.
No. Simple, but not easy. But But front arm is a big one. So a lot of times the reason they do this is because this side's doing too much. So the way I counteract it is by teaching this hand what it needs to do to take over. So if front arm is straightening, a lot of times they do a thing called casting. But I've taught my little team, because this happens more in the younger kids, and they're more teachable at the younger kids. We've talked about casting as a good thing. Because, and I tell a little story about how I got hit in the forehead with a fishing pole. I got hooked in the forehead. So casting on our team, I made them think about it as, think about how you cast when you're fishing. They all say, you hold the button, and then you throw it where you want it to go, and they automatically do the right swing because they're releasing barrel where they're trying to make the fishing pole go. Now, is that correct mechanics? This is not what I'm looking for, but they no longer do this because then I can just look over at them and say, you just hit the first baseman in the face. And they giggle, hee hee hee, but they know exactly what I'm saying because they've released here. And when they get straight, that's usually the first thing that happens. They've lost this. So a drill you can do, you can just get a dowel. You don't need to go, don't tell the companies in the hall I'm telling you this. You don't need special fancy things. Go to Lowe's, go to Home Depot, and find what you need. You need a dowel. You need a straight stick, not a barrel. You need wiffle balls that have bigger holes, and you put it on the dowel, and you make them throw the wiffle balls forward. If they release early, the wiffle ball lets go back. Does that make sense? So we call casting on our teams a good thing because it means they're casting their fishing pole. So casting in the softball world is usually a negative term because it's this, but we changed it into a good thing because I say, hey, cast to the pitcher. Oh, okay. I'm like, thank you. And it fixes it right away. So simple, but not easy.
Welcome back. Now that last short video you just saw was from my new magazine, Fastpitch Illustrated. It's for the iPad. Now if you want to subscribe or just find out more about the magazine, go to fastpitchillustrated.com. Now I hope you enjoyed Jennie's clinic. Make sure and come back next week for another part, which will be part 4 and the final part of her clinic. Now if you have an iPhone or an iPad, you need to look at all the apps I've created today for those devices. At this time I've created 8 different apps just for those devices. Just go to app.fastpitch.tv. Don't forget to check out my new skills video channel at coacheslook.com. It's a great way for high school players to get noticed by college coaches. And that's it for today. So until next week, this is Gary Leland saying goodbye, and thanks for watching.
This show is a member of the Fastpitch TV network. See all our shows and blogs at www.fastpitch.tv.